Monsignor Joseph G. Quinn is a man of the people, a man who is kind, compassionate, religious, a great speaker with a quick wit. Born in Scranton in 1950, Joseph G. Quinn was the son of June Scanlon and Dr. John Quinn, a dentist practicing in the city. Joey, as he was known to his siblings, was the fourth of 12 children in the Quinn family, growing up in the Nativity section of Scranton in his father's boyhood home. Monsignor Quinn marvels now at what his parents did to raise him and his 4 brothers and 7 sisters, but back in the day, it wasn't unusual to have a large family. Monsignor's grandmother was one of 17. In fact, between Monsignor's father and his Uncle Tom, there were 26 kids, all with the same last name and all around the same age, going to the same school. Education was important to the Quinn family. For the most part, the boys would go to Scranton Prep and the University of Scranton, and the girls Marywood Seminary and Marywood College. And if the children weren't sure what major to pursue, their dentist father would always suggest something in the science field. Joseph was graduated from Scranton Prep in 1968 and spent the next 4 years at the University of Scranton, starting his college career in, of course, pre-med. He soon found out that he wasn't meant to be a doctor and convinced his father to allow him to change majors. Even though he had thoughts of entering the priesthood going back to the 8th grade, Joseph wasn't exactly 100% sure, so after graduating from the U, he continued his studies at Seton Hall Law School and returned to Scranton to become a law clerk for Chief Judge William Nealon. In 1976, Joseph Quinn became federal magistrate judge for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. At age 25, he was the youngest person in the country to serve in that position. It wasn't until the age of 30 that he realized nothing in life is 100% sure. And with the guidance of his former parish priest, Bishop James Timlin, and Monsignor Andrew J. McGowan, Joseph followed his calling into the priesthood. Entering the seminary, he spent 4 years studying in Rome, and in 1985 was ordained priest by Bishop James Timlin. His first assignment was as assistant pastor to St. Matthew's in East Stroudsburg, but after 2 years, Bishop Timlin suggested that he receive more training in canon law, and he attended St. Paul University in Ottawa. Father Quinn returned to the diocese in 1989 as assistant pastor of the cathedral, and a short time later became pastor, a tenure of 16 years. In 2005, Monsignor Quinn was appointed as pastor of St. Rose of Lima Church in Carbondale.
I think the role of a parish priest is to be involved in more than just the parish. I think in today's world, you're always reaching out beyond the doors of the church.
Monsignor believed his role was to teach the residents of that community the art of the possible. Carbondale had many challenges ahead, and Monsignor knew that if the residents believed in themselves and their community, they would grow and prosper. Having a reputation of helping many community organizations and institutions, it wasn't long until the Carbondale YMCA sought out Monsignor's guidance and help for a proposed capital campaign.
I don't know that I had turned off the engine on the car just yet. It could have been a matter of minutes. No, I think I was only there really literally a matter of weeks, if that, before Steve, Dan, and others came to talk about this possibility. I come from a large family with enough members to have their own teams for anything, but we were never athletic. And in my entire life, I had never been inside any YMCA. So to take on a venture to really raise its profile and help it enter into a new century was pretty amusing.
Monsignor accepted the role of honorary chairperson, but what started out as a $3.5 million project suddenly grew to $5.1, $7, and finally $10 million.
For probably a 3-year period, we met every Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. in the old Y. And it was a core group of the committee that met. And it was an uphill struggle, but with the early successes that came from some extraordinarily supportive individuals and entities within that part of the world, off it went. And there was great excitement. And It's still hard for us. I don't think any of us ever realized the transformative effect it would have, not just for Carbondale, but well beyond Carbondale.
Monsignor was there for the groundbreaking of the new facility, but in 2009, in recognition of his many talents, former University of Scranton President Reverend Joseph McShane, now the president of Fordham University, coaxed Monsignor to the Big Apple as Vice President of University Mission and Ministry. After several years of successful service, Monsignor returned home in 2016 to serve as pastor of Our Lady of Snows Parish in Clark Summit. Monsignor Joseph G. Quinn has been granted many gifts and talents that he has shared liberally with the residents of the area. This dedicated leader and servant has shown by example a humble dedication to God, tireless service to the community, and a never-ending joy for life.
I'd just like to say thanks again to this wonderful community of pioneers who have always taught me what it is to truly move forward, to try harder, and to achieve the impossible, which was done in this whole project in the last decade. I love to tell the story, and I would be delighted to return to the Pioneer City at any time to serve in any way, because it's one of the happiest memories in my life. But especially this chapter with the Carbondale YMCA. With thanks to Steve Durkin and to that talented, gifted team of his that continues to advance the mission and the ministry of the Carbondale YMCA. To give thanks to all those who made it possible, government leaders like the mayor, Justin Taylor, to say thanks to Michelle Bannon, unique in and of herself, always giving life through her smile and her energy. To say thanks to the recipients being honored tonight. I am so honored to be with them, each a story unto themselves. John Cosgrove, Susan Mancuso, Dan Tosky, just all people who have given and given of themselves, each one teaching us that to serve is to lead is to serve. And to say thanks to wonderful people like Peter Frieder, like Michael Defino, like wonderful public leaders at all levels of government and foundations who made this come true in a way that none of us ever could have imagined. So pioneers all, don't stop now. Keep going forward. You've made a difference. You've left the mark. But there's still lots to be done. God bless you.